Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Dodd in here with you, coming up on 7:28 Central, 8:28 Eastern on your Saturday evening, July 9th, 2022. Severe weather update for you. And so I believe that this situation is turning into a flood event more than a severe thunderstorm event. Now, we have a tremendous amount of lightning out there, and there have been sporadic reports of high wind in some of these storms across central Alabama and now in east Alabama. But I believe this is turning into more of a flood event. We have multiple flash flood warnings in effect now for portions of Shelby, St. Clair, and southern Talladega County. And that is eventually going to work its way on down into Chilton County, Coosa County, and probably Clay and northern Tallapoosa as well. We do have a special weather statement now for southwestern Clay, western and northwestern Tallapoosa, and for Coosa County. And maybe some good news for those of you over in Randolph, maybe. It appears that the areas that got the very heavy rainfall this morning, the rain that's moving into those areas that received the heaviest rainfall this morning, that rain is not quite as heavy as what we're seeing back over central Alabama. And it may be because the atmosphere was raked over pretty good earlier today. We'll see. And I mean, I say that. We do have some pockets of very heavy rainfall over here in Clay County. Places just south of Delta down to around Lineville, and then right along the Clay County, Talladega County line, we have some areas of very heavy rainfall underway. But you got to get over here in southern Talladega County, down here around Sylacauga, between Sylacauga and Childersburg. I mean, it's just copious rainfall, and that's been going on now for hours. And that stretches down to around Stewartville in Coosa County, and then down to around Blue Springs, and all the way back down to around Jemison, and then back over to Bibb County near Brent. Just very, very heavy rainfall. And where you see those green boxes, those are flash flood warnings. There's a flash flood warning for places like Birmingham, Hoover, Vestavia Hills, Alabaster, Homewood, Mountain Brook, Sylacauga, Fultondale, and Montevallo. That is in effect until 8:45 p.m. There have been numerous reports of flooding up here in Birmingham in the areas that always flood. We're talking down around the University of Alabama at Birmingham, UAB, the UAB Hospital, and then back down around Hoover, back close to the Galleria 459 Highway 31 interchange there. It floods every time it rains hard there. They've got it going on again tonight. But Childersburg, Sylacauga, we have flash flooding taking place there as well. And this is just extremely heavy rainfall. It's just not moving. I mean, we're seeing rainfall rates of over 2 inches an hour in some of these locations. And these storms, as I'm backing the radar up and moving it forward, just not moving much at all. I mean, 10 to 15, maybe 20 mile per hour forward progress, and that's it. But again, if you go back up here to the northeast corner of this line of storms and you look over into Clay County, yes, there are a few pockets of heavy rain. I think that will make it over into Randolph, but that's not nearly as heavy as what we're seeing from Sylacauga to the southwest. And I think that's because of all the heavy rain that we had up here this morning. The atmosphere is not quite as unstable as it is back across central Alabama. So you got more rain coming. Clay, Randolph, Tallapoosa, Chambers, even over here into West Georgia. We've already got rain breaking out again now in Carroll County and down into Heard County. But I just don't think it's going to be quite as the rain rates are not going to be quite as heavy along the Alabama-Georgia border as what we're seeing back over central Alabama with this round of showers and thunderstorms. Now, you folks down here in maybe Coosa and Tallapoosa County, yeah, I think that heavy stuff does make it down into your area, the heavy rain. Let me do some artwork here for you. These storms are moving in this general direction. And the heaviest activity, the heaviest rain, let's see here. We want to put the pencil on. So the heaviest rain is inside this red box that I'm drawing on the screen. That's where the heaviest rain is. And then the arrows are depicting the direction that rain is moving. So you folks up here in Clay County, you got some, like I said, pockets of heavy rain, but this area is nothing like what we're seeing down here in central Alabama. And this stuff up here in Clay is going to move in this general direction. So that's what's going to move over Wadley. That's what will move over Wedowee. That's what will move over Roanoke. So no doubt you're going to get some more showers and some thunder and lightning, but I just don't think the rainfall rate or the lightning output is going to be as strong in Clay and Randolph as what we're seeing over here in southern Talladega, moving to the southeast, and eventually it will move on into Coosa County. You'll see this stuff in Kellyton. You'll see this stuff in Alexander City, Daviston, and then probably most likely on down here around Dadeville. Depending on how it holds together, Chambers County, you could get the lighter stuff that's coming through Clay and Randolph, or you may get some of this heavier rain too, but it's still a long ways off. This stuff's, like I said, moving at 10 to 15 miles per hour, so we're still looking at most likely another 45 minutes to an hour before we see this in Alexander City. Probably the same for Roanoke, and probably around 2 hours before it gets into Lafayette, and then down there in the Auburn-Opelika area. Heck, it may be 10 o'clock before we see this line of storms make it into the Auburn-Opelika area. So what's going to happen here is all of this activity is associated with a cold front that is sweeping down into Alabama, and it's going to continue moving to the south and southeast, and it's going to stall out down here across southeast Alabama, maybe slip into North Florida, but somewhere around the Wiregrass region, this thing is going to stall out. And then it's just going to kind of meander back and forth for a couple of days, and that's what's going to keep our rain chances pretty decent across East Alabama and West Georgia. Again, tomorrow afternoon, we get the heat of the day going. We're going to see these showers and thunderstorms break out again. I think they'll be more numerous to our south tomorrow, but I think we'll see plenty of storms make it up into East Alabama and West Georgia in the heat of the afternoon. And then when we zoom all the way out, and let me go back to the composite. This is the overall picture. So this is the activity that's moving into Alabama, into East Alabama now. But look up in Tennessee and even into southern Kentucky. We still have more thunderstorms up here, especially south of Nashville, between Nashville and Huntsville, and then back over here around Chattanooga. All of that is continuing to move to the south and southeast this evening. And while the individual storms have a little bit of an eastern motion to them, the entire system is sinking to the south. So you folks up here in North Georgia, you've got a small cluster of thunderstorms that appears to be growing in size. That's going to slip into North Georgia the next couple of 2-3 hours. And then that line, which is the actual cold front itself, maybe bringing a few more showers into East Alabama and West Georgia after midnight tonight toward daybreak tomorrow. And then again, like I said, it's going to stall out across southeast Alabama and South Georgia, and then back up a little bit on your Sunday, which will bring you another chance of showers and thunderstorms. So the National Weather Service at this point, I don't think will extend this watch any further to the east. We've just seen a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings this afternoon. They've already released all the counties up here in northwest Alabama that was under the watch earlier. And for right now, they're just covering this entire line from Sylacauga all the way back to the Alabama-Mississippi state line with a special weather statement. No severe thunderstorm warnings. So that means that the winds so far have been less than 58 miles per hour. The hail so far right now is less than an inch in diameter, and those are the two main criteria used for severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, The lightning output, which is not part of the criteria of a severe thunderstorm, I think it should be, but it's not. It is pretty intense. We got just in this frame that we're looking at, 603 lightning strikes in the last couple of 2 or 3 minutes across West Alabama, Central Alabama. But again, as you come back over into East Alabama, we're not seeing nearly as much lightning output. And the rain rates are not nearly as high as what we're seeing back in Central Alabama. So that's good news for East Alabama. We do need the rain. You are going to get more rain. I just don't think you're going to see the 2-inch per hour rain rate that we're seeing across Central Alabama. And I also don't think that there's much of a severe weather threat across most of the Dr. Don coverage area and West Georgia as well. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on this because I know most of you are wondering what's going on with the weather, and so here's the deal. You're going to get showers and thunderstorms if you're anywhere in East Alabama and West Georgia over the course of the next couple of 2 or 3 hours. I don't think they're going to be severe, though a severe thunderstorm watch is still in effect for Talladega and Coosa counties of the Dr. Don coverage area, and then back to the west across Central and West and Southwest Alabama. That is in effect until 10 o'clock this evening. This seems to be developing into a flash flooding event with very heavy rainfall amounts across Central Alabama and modest rainfall amounts across Clay County at this hour. That'll continue moving on over into Randolph, Tallapoosa, Chambers, and eventually it'll make it down here to the I-85 corridor as well. So that's where we stand with the weather, and I'm going to go up here and see if there's any comments I need to answer right quick. Somebody says their anxiety is up already. No need for that. We're not talking about tornado weather. This is not a severe weather outbreak for Alabama or Georgia. So there's no reason to be anxious about this. Thomas is reporting that he's had 2¼ inches of rain in Swag since 7 a.m. this morning. You're probably going to add at least another inch to that over the next couple of hours because, even though the rain rates are not as heavy in Clay, and that's what's eventually going to end up over there at Swag and Randolph, even though the rain rates are not as heavy, the storm system is moving very slowly. So if one of those pockets of red just happens to move right over Swag and where your rain gauge is, then it's very conceivable that you could pick up another inch of rain in this next round that's coming in, which would take your total over 3 inches of rain in 24 hours, which is pretty incredible, especially for July. We typically don't see that much rain in a 24-hour period in the month of July. But, yeah, certainly possible. Coming down at Hollis Crossroads. Yeah, it is. And I think Cleburne's going to do good up there, too. Mostly greens and yellows up there. Some very small areas of red. But nothing like what we're seeing down here around Clanton, back up towards Sylacauga, and Childersburg. That is just blinding rain taking place down there. There's my Warner Robbins, folks. Hey, Bobby G. Thank you, Sharon. Alexander City. It's all quiet there right now, but again, this leading edge of the very heavy rainfall very well could end up moving across Alexander City in another hour or so. Now, here's the deal, folks. I mean, an hour from now, who knows what this is going to look like? I mean, it could, this whole line could start deteriorating or it could intensify. I'm talking about rain rates. I don't think the severe threat is going to be there much longer, what little bit there is left. This is turning into a flooding event. Marcia's watching us in Noonan. Same thing for Lafayette. It's the heavy stuff, the rain that you see up there in Clay, and maybe what you see in northern Coosa is probably what's going to end up over there in Chambers County. But we're looking at least another hour, maybe hour and a half, before you see anything in Lafayette, Lynette Valley, West Point. So Bobby wants to play softball tomorrow. Yeah, well, this cold front's going to stall out across southeast Alabama and southwest Georgia, and I'm afraid Warner Robins is going to be too close. I'm not saying you won't be able to get your softball game in, but pretty likely you're going to have some rain showers to deal with. All right, folks, so I just wanted to give you a quick update. We're going to watch this throughout the rest of the evening. If I see anything that is becoming serious that we think we need to report on, I'll be right back with you, and we'll give you more updates. I will tell you this. We're looking at this radar. If you have red over your town, then most likely you're getting just incredible amounts of rain, and I see that's happening in Ashland right now, as a matter of fact. And so the heavy rain will continue, and if you're going to be driving in these areas tonight, folks, please, if water is over the roadway, don't assume because there's not a blockade or there's not a police officer sitting there warning you, don't assume that it's just safe to go ahead and drive through it. Especially after dark, if there's water over a roadway, I don't care if it appears to be just 1 inch of water. Don't take that chance. There could be a washed out culvert that you can't see because of the water. It's just, I know it's inconvenient, but it's much more convenient to turn around and don't drown than it is to take that chance and drive through that water and end up in a culvert somewhere covered with 2 foot of water. You just don't want to, you don't need to take that chance. So if you're going to be driving in any of these areas that are going to get hit hard with this rain this evening, pull over. This is not going to be a fast-moving system, so the best idea is just stay off the roads tonight, and maybe tomorrow will be a better day. So I'm going to wrap this up again. I think the severe weather threat is diminishing. I think it's turning into more of a flash flooding event. Copious amounts of rain, lots of thunder and lightning out there. Just not a good night to be outside if you plan on doing that this evening across the East Alabama and Central Alabama, as well as West Georgia. We got rain showers breaking out over there in Heard County. So we'll watch this for you. And again, if I see anything that is significant or forget any warnings whatsoever, I'll be right back with you. Meantime, don't forget to send us those Facebook stars. We love getting those stars. And you can also click on that link you see in the chat room to go over to Dr. Don's weather page and send us a donation if you can help us out. We greatly appreciate it. I'll see you back in here with another update, if conditions warrant, right here on Dr. Don's Weather.